Hi, bestie. Welcome back to Girl House. First of all, sorry for last week. We did not have YouTube vid, but Celia is in
Technical
Nantucket. Yeah,
difficulties.
basically, she was filming in a room with a high ceiling, and we didn't think about the fact that there would be an echo there. So hopefully, there's no echo this time. If there is an echo again, then there will once again be, you'll know because there won't be a YouTube video, but hopefully, there will be no echo. And yeah, I mean, that's really basically it. We thought it would be fun to do a Q&A today because we haven't done a Q&A in ages. And
I love a Q&A.
I love a Q&A. I would do a Q&A every time if it was, although I think next week it'd be fun to do, maybe it would have been better to do it this week, but I think next week I was thinking it would be fun to do like a favorites of like
You
April.
know I love a favorites.
I know. Yeah, I
Oh,
love
I
the
beg to
favorites
do a
too.
favorites. That will
Yeah,
be
so I
so
think we
fun.
should do.
Okay.
I have so many favorites right now, so I
Me
thought that
too.
would be a
Also,
fun.
anything you want to hear, just drop a comment.
Send us a message. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll get into updates and then get into the Q&A. Updates on my end. I'm like trying to think. I feel like this past weekend, did I really do? I went to dinner, and then on Saturday I had a night in. It was like epic. I guess that's my update, and like I like really realized it this weekend on Saturday. So I was just like really exhausted, didn't want to do anything on Saturday, didn't go out, didn't hang out with anyone. And I haven't in so long had a weekend like since Celia's moved. I like have not had a weekend where I didn't go out or hang out with someone because I think I was just like so.
That's crazy.
Well, it's because like I think with you here and then also like dating someone in the beginning of the year, it got me so uncomfortable being like by myself. And like when I was in New York, I loved having like a weekend alone. But like I guess after you left and after I went through a little breakup, I like felt weird hanging out by myself because I thought like I don't know, I felt like a loser. But this past weekend, I like spent Saturday by myself and it felt so good. And I like
Divine.
didn't feel like a loser. I just was like, oh my God, I miss doing this.
So
And
what did you do?
literally, what did I got Chipotle. I watched a
Checks
movie.
out.
I had a glass of wine and I went to bed at like 9 p.m. and it was just awesome. And then I just
Amazing.
felt better than everyone the next day because I went to Pilates and then I went to the gym and had like a super productive Sunday. So I was just feeling like awesome.
That
But
reminds me when we used to do the like sunrise dips and we used to think about your
it,
situationship just rotting in bed while we were
yeah.
out dipping.
Yeah. Yeah, never forget. Yeah, I guess that's like my big, I think I'm just like, I'm feeling like super good again and I'm happy about it because also I posted this on TikTok the other day, but like I have been listening to Lana Del Rey again
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I hate when I can't listen to her because I love her so much. She is like my Taylor Swift Cecilia. Like I yeah, I just love the woman, but I guess I don't really know as much about her personal life or follow that
Okay.
like you do. But
Did you see her stagecoach set?
yeah, it was epic.
Everything.
And no, I'm so pissed off because I want to go to I saw her at a concert one time with my mom when I was in high school. And thank God we went because when we were driving there, I don't know, I was probably just being like a
Yep.
rude high schooler, but like it escalated into this big fight and we almost didn't go to the concert because like I was so mad and then she
Imagine how
was so
mad you'd be
mad.
if you hadn't gone.
I would be so mad because that's what I was gonna say. Well, first of all, it ended up being like such a fun night. It was like raining at the concert and like obviously like once you have a big fight like that, then it's like really fun once you make up after it probably I don't even remember what it was over. But anyway, probably over like me not being allowed to hang out with a guy or something. I don't know. But yeah, I just like wish she would go on like a normal she doesn't go on normal tours. She'll just go to like a few random places
I
scattered
know.
here and there and that's it. And I'm so jealous of everyone who just saw her at Stagecoach.
Was she even like known to be showing up or she just showed up? to
I think she was
Stagecoach?
known to be showing up.
Okay, I didn't know because I saw that someone brought her, I think Jelly Roll or something brought her
Yeah,
out.
he brought her out too. But she was,
Got
I
it.
think she was, maybe that was on a different, I don't know, don't quote me on anything. But
Yeah.
my whole point with that, with my update, is just like whenever I'm like not feeling well mentally, I cannot listen to Lana Del Rey. Like it
That's
just,
literally a quote. I don't know if you made it or not. You always say, like, you know you're depressed when you
oh
can't even
yeah,
listen to Lana Del Rey.
that's what I always say. I don't know if anyone else has said that before or not, but that is what I say
In my
about
head, it's your
myself.
quote.
Yeah, no, it's, and like I've just been loving. I mean, Henry Come On is the best
I
song
knew you
ever.
were going to say that.
I just
You just
really,
love that song.
I really relate to the song. No, the first few verses when she's like, "Come on, do you really think I would lose it if you did nothing wrong?" Just like I was like, yeah, I mean, been there before. Been there before. Yeah.
Well,
It's like you're never just losing it. I feel like in so many relationships, it's like you feel like you're going crazy. I feel like almost every relationship
Why do you
I've
feel
been
that
in,
way?
but
You're
you feel
pushed to
that
feel
way
that way.
because, yeah, as Lana says, do
Yeah.
you really think I would be going crazy if you did nothing wrong?
Yep. And yet boys will still say yes. But anywho,
Yeah.
next
Oh,
topic.
that's my last thing. Speaking of, there's this TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it or not because I know you have been more up to date on TikTok recently. But
I just fear my For You page is not like what you want it to be.
it's not. But this could have been on
But
your For
let's
You
see if I heard
page.
it. Let's see.
So this guy went viral because he was like fuming. He was so pissed off. He was like, I was just trying to go on a peaceful walk and I walked by this girl and like she couldn't even look up at me and say hi. She was just on her phone, basically like going on and on about how he's so mad that a girl didn't like take out her headphones, put her phone away, and he was like our age, and say hi to him.
Oh my God.
And everyone is stitching it right now because they're just like, wow, sorry your peaceful walk was ruined because a girl didn't stop and give you her number. It's just
And he's
like,
being like 100% serious.
yes, he's like done, because people were like, maybe he's saying it in a way where like he's just saying we've like lost human connection from like being on our phone so much, except then he like responded to the hate and like then just went on basically about how it was so rude for her to not put her phone down, and then like went on and on about I I think like the term everyone was using was he was mansplaining. I just, that doesn't feel natural for me. I've
Don't
never
get
used
me
that
started
term
on
before, but
mansplaining.
I hate, yeah.
I can't really delve into it, but I've got a situation my own self.
He was mansplaining how women should be like aware of their surroundings for safety, and it's like, yeah, no shit. And then everyone was like, actually, like a lot of times, like I know, like especially with me, if I walk down the street here, or especially in New York, like but here too, like a lot of times I'll look at my phone because I'll see a person who I'm like, I should not make eye contact with this
As a
person.
woman, you're always aware. Even that might be a
Yeah.
tactic, a distraction, so that you
Yeah.
don't exactly. This actually reminds me of when your ex-boyfriend said this to you, that he didn't trust you to walk down the street alone. Remember?
Oh, I was like, I thought you were talking about someone from Boston because
No.
oh, that,
Recent.
yeah,
Most
so
recent.
true. No, yeah, that was like it was like 9. I mean, I guess in theory it was nice for him to care, but it's like, you don't think I can. We've been dating for like however long, and you don't think I can handle walking to 7-Eleven by myself? Like, I've been doing this for a long time. Yes. I have made it this far on my own. And I will be okay. But yeah, no, those are just my updates.
Well, it's funny that you're feeling like so good because I'm feeling so good at the same time.
Oh, that's
like it
awesome.
just clicked for me. As soon as I got here to the island, I just feel like I'm living the life that I've dreamt of living for the past few months.
You've been waiting for this.
I just feel so good in my routine here. So, yeah. And I had quite an eventful weekend. And oh my God, my favorite store of all time, Doan, has opened on Nantucket. And they haven't even announced it yet. And I was wearing a Doan dress when I went in. And they were like, oh my gosh, you're hired. And they gave me champagne. And I was like, should I work there part-time?
That would be so. I want to work somewhere part-time for fun so bad, at like a fun store, or well, where I really want
Well,
to work is like, sorry to interrupt.
no, I'll delve in
It's
after.
just a quick side note. There's a coffee shop I love near the Venice canals, and I'm
Mm.
only saying it because I know I will never. Apparently, it's super hard to get hired as a barista, and I have no experience. But I just
The
think it would be
personality, though.
so fun to like have a little barista job.
I think it would be so much fun. And you also like meet people. I don't know. The
Yeah,
reason why I want to work there is because,
discount.
well, yeah, if you've worked in retail, this is my issue. So, yeah, if you've worked in retail, then you know that you likely would get a discount. And like, I just love the product. Like, I feel like I would be so into it. And it's like people come in for like styling advice. I just feel like I would be like so into
Why
it.
don't you?
Well, that's what I was literally thinking about it. I'm not even kidding. But they're hiring a part-time person I saw online because I looked, but like
Perfect.
not really because I'd have to work on weekends and like
Oh,
like I'm leaving several weekends. Like
yeah,
there's
you'd
no way I
probably
could work
regret it
Monday through
then.
Friday. And like if I could work one day a week, maybe, but like in the summer, I just remember my first time getting like a job aside from working for my dad. So like was basically going and I got two jobs in the same day, and I was like all gung ho, and then I started them. And one was in retail, one was at a restaurant. So restaurant was at nights, retail was during the day. And I just remember like my whole family having so much summer fun, and I just was like stuck there.
Yeah.
So I ordered a bunch of clothes on the discount, and then I actually did put in my 2 weeks fairly quick. And I
Yeah.
didn't do that on purpose. It just happened that way.
Many episodes ago,
Yeah.
when Celia like didn't go on a date with this guy, but we kind of roasted him because they had matched and he was just strange. She knew of him because he worked at this place as well.
This is
Um,
true. That's not why I ended the role, though.
no, I know it's not.
I didn't really know him then.
You just knew of him, but
Yeah.
that was like I'll never get over. I can't even remember exactly what he texted you now, but
Me neither. I block it
he
from
was
my
not
mind.
happy that we discussed him.
No, he was not. God willing, he's not
Which is
watching this
crazy
episode.
because like we did not think he would be
No, it was absolutely
like you
crazy.
hadn't even met.
No, yeah, no
And then
comment. It was
he
crazy.
wouldn't say he listened to it. He said a friend heard. There's
Yep.
like no
If I
way.
get a text after this, I swear to God. But
He's
that
blocked.
would be
Yeah.
kind of crazy at this point. But
Yeah. I'll just
yeah,
never forget we were at the beach and we were about to leave for the beach when you got that text and you just felt sick to your stomach and then I felt sick to my
yep,
stomach for you and also for myself because I was like, "Oh my God."
yep. That's when it kind of hit us. Like, wow, not just girls listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Anyway,
just try to forget about that and like go on with my day.
obviously same. But yeah, it was
Not about
traumatizing.
that moment. I mean,
No,
like
in
in
general, I
general.
know. No, I know. But thank you if you were talking about that moment. Um, but yeah, it's just like the sweetest store, and I adore the brand, and I just feel like it could be a cool idea, but I don't
Yeah.
know, like realistically they probably wouldn't take someone who can only work one day a week.
Well, it never hurts to ask.
I know. I am going to go in and just be like if you ever need like backup help. And that
Yeah.
might sound ridiculous, but I feel like kind of anything goes here. Like my mom's friend who works in retail keeps asking me if I can do like one day a week when they need it. Like obviously that's a
Yeah.
friend's store, so it's different, but like they might need it. They might.
Yeah.
I,
You
I don't
never
know.
know.
We'll see. But I just was like freaking out when I saw it. I could not believe because they didn't announce. They still haven't announced it. It was the second day that they were open. Anyway.
Not that bad.
But no, the island was kind of nuts. It was like full swing. And as I've told you, and we say a million times over, and it happened to us on July 4th a couple years ago, when it rains, the only thing to do here is drink.
Oh, yeah,
So,
of course.
unfortunately or fortunately, we had quite a day. I'm talking like 8 a.m. mimosas for my mom's birthday, maybe 7:30 a.m. to be honest. We got up very early for her birthday.
Yeah, she sent me a
Through
photo of her birthday table you made. It was very cute.
She sent that to you?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Well, I texted her happy birthday and then she sent like a photo saying
Oh,
it was just very cute, like excited that you set up the table.
yeah. No, she was very happy.
Like you just did a really great job. I was impressed.
Thank you. No, she was very happy. So that's what matters. But yeah, I was out until like probably 2:30 the next morning. So quite a night. But yeah, we're back. We're in full swing. Loving it.
Yeah.
So anyway, should we get into our Q&A?
Yeah, might as well. Oh, excuse me. Do you want to read the first one or do you want me to?
Why don't you go first? That was so polite.
No, I said that because our friend put in a very funny one.
Oh, the literal first one? No. We will not be reading that one. Oh my god, and someone put in one. Wait, let me find it right now. And I was like traumatized even listening to it. I felt so bad because it reminds me of you, actually. Just wait. Vita's barking. I'm not sure why. Hold on.
I can't hear her, so it's good.
Okay, let me just find this. It says, not a Q, but I had a dream last night that my boyfriend was cheating on me with Celia.
Oh, Ducky, stop.
And I'm like, wow. First off, I'm so sorry that happened in your dream. That is absolutely awful. But might I remind you, it's just a dream. I have to have this conversation with Kelly basically like every single day that I wake up. I'm like, it's always me and her mom. She's always dreaming that we're not cheating with boyfriend. That would be insane. But like crazy thing. She's like, I was so mad in my dream.
Oh my God. I had
you
a
and
dream
my
this
mom did
past
X,
week.
Y, and Z. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah,
Lovely.
It is always just you and my mom.
It's just a dream.
No, I was so pissed. Like this past, like I actually woke up fuming. Obviously, I don't actually get mad at you, but like in the moment, I wake up pissed off. I had a dream that Celia and I like had this like extravagant reservation to this like dinner we were like waiting to go to, and anyway, like we sit down, we order all this like hundreds, maybe thousands dollars worth of food and drink. And then I don't have my ID. So I have to take like this journey to go walk and get my ID. And of course it's a dream, so it's like taking me forever to like go get my ID. I come back and the table's cleared and Celia's like passed out.
This is
because it was also a hotel, by the way. And anyway, I was like, where's all the food? And you were like, I sent it all back. And you put
so she calls me fuming,
and you put it all on my card, and I was like, "What the actual hell? I just paid for all this food, everything. You knew I was coming back, and I was fuming."
Anyway, I apologize to the bestie that dreamt that. That is truly awful.
Yeah,
but I just really want to remind you that it was just a dream.
Best pieces of advice for college. I think mine would be like. And this really just goes back to like my freshman year when I like had a full mental breakdown and like almost, I had to transfer schools, etc. I think when I went to college, I was like, oh my God, I have freedom. Let me go literally insane and like not live like a real person. And I'm not saying like don't party in college. Obviously party, have fun. But like you don't need to like go on a year-long bender just because you don't have parental supervision anymore. Like I would say like still like go out on the weekends, like I obviously go out on the week sometimes too. Like I'm not saying like don't have fun, but like still have like a healthy lifestyle, I guess. Like don't lose yourself to partying.
College does not feel like real life in that sense. Yeah. I would say my best piece of advice for college is you are like, well, it's not this case for everyone, I guess, but most cases you're going somewhere where you don't really know everyone. And I would give myself this advice even like, I think in times I was outgoing, but in times I was very shy. I'm like naturally more reserved. And I just think like my biggest piece of advice is just to talk to anyone and everyone and just put yourself out there and don't like you just have to remember that you can be anyone you want to be,
Very
it's
true.
like you truly are entering a new era. Even if there are people from your high school there, like you can separate yourself from them and then you're entering with a clean slate. That's what's so exciting about college to me.
Celia and I are the queens of reinventing ourselves. We reinvented ourselves like 20 times in college, but each reinvention, I think we just got better and better.
Seriously, it brought growth every time.
Yeah. So like,
but no, that's like so
be
exciting.
Whoever the hell you want to be. I mean, Celia and I like just.
You can really wake up and be whoever you want to be if you believe it. That's the thing.
No, we like we started doing this like in high school and then like, but especially in college and like this. I like do not mean this in a way like where we thought we were like better than anyone or anything like that. It wasn't that, or like in like a not good, like full of ourselves way. It was more just because we both lacked so much confidence that we just like woke up one day and we were just like, we are literally so cool and so awesome. And then we just started to act like we were really cool and really awesome. And like looking back, like, there were probably a lot of really cringy moments. But I
Confidence
feel
is a
like
mindset.
no, and I feel like that helped us so much in our life. Like
I
we
know.
met so many people, we did so many things, and like just because we just decided one day that we were cool.
In every aspect of life, there are actually like multiple other questions that this can apply to that I was just looking at. One being like in a corporate setting, people have been asking a little bit about that. If you go in, like I am naturally very shy and very timid. Obviously, maybe it doesn't appear that way on the podcast because I'm talking to my best friend and you, but like obviously you are my best friend, but also you know what I mean. Sorry, I just saw your face when I said that. Anyway, but like I am naturally really shy, but like I'm a different kind of version of myself in a lot of different settings, I think, but you just have to think like, who do I want to be in this setting? Like, who would I look up to in this setting? And then act how they would act, speak how they would speak, and like it translates. And then
And
you
you're
become.
really good at doing that.
Well, thanks.
Just saying. You really are.
But yeah, and even like from different jobs, job to job, I speak and act differently. And like
Yeah.
the way that I like even speak in my job now versus like in styling, the way I signed all my emails and all of that, like there's just a different tone. You just have to like adapt to wherever you are. And like that was a bad example for college. You don't have to adapt to anyone, but you can become whoever you want to become is what I'm trying to say.
No,
As long as you like believe it.
Yeah. There are no limits, quite frankly.
Period. Yeah.
The next
That
one,
actually kind of relates to the next question.
yeah. This
How to
one's on
find your
you.
personal style. Because I'm not even saying this to be like cliche. It probably sounds not that deep and kind of stupid, but to me it really is that deep. But like I really think if you think of yourself as like a character, how do you want yourself to be perceived?
Yeah.
And then when you're looking to buy things, does this align with your character?
Wow.
Or doesn't? That's what I do.
Wow. No,
Not to be
I will
freaky, but I've been
say,
all over the place, like in the past with trends and whatnot. And now I like see myself as who I want to be and who I believe I am, even if it doesn't always reflect that way. But like I genuinely believe who I am, like so strongly inside, if that makes sense. I don't know if this is making sense.
no, that
Like
makes
I know
perfect
how I
sense.
want to be perceived. So I only want to dress, obviously like not this, but like in going out and in public settings, like how I want to be perceived.
Yeah.
So I dress my character essentially, which is who I am. But that's how you find
Yeah.
personal style and like get rid of like trends. And you can get trends, but like if they don't relate to how you want to be perceived, why would you participate in them?
Yeah. No, I will say something that's always impressed me about you is just that you are so good. I knew you were going to do a big smile. I was just waiting for it to happen. You were trying not to. No, something that has always impressed me about you is just that you are so good at curating pieces. Like I feel like when I shop, I just get a bunch of random shit. We had to take a
Please.
quick break because the dogs were barking. But what I was saying is just you have always been so good at curating like exact pieces. Like when I shop, I just get a bunch of random shit kind of. And then I'm just like, not all the time, but like
That's really
every
not
single
true, but
thing
thank
you
you.
get is very intentional.
Thank you.
Whereas
I'm also
like
a
I don't.
psychopath and plan out what I want for months.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I know,
thank
but
you.
you're just really like,
Thank you.
yeah. I'm just always
Oh,
impressed by it.
that's actually another tip that I thank you genuinely. That's like the utmost compliment to me. But another thing that I do, when I'm like seeing stuff, like I'm constantly looking at new clothes just because I love to kind of.
Yeah.
And whenever I see things that I want, I start like I have this crazy long PowerPoint deck where I'll add things for different things. Like for example, my birthday, I have all the things that I want for like to wear on my birthday, and like for upcoming trips, like I have everything on that slide, and as I continue to shop, I'll like find things and add them, and I don't have them all, like I don't own everything, but some things I already do own. And that way you can kind of like see, like when you're going on a trip, you can plan like all the things will coordinate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I visually put it out there. But what I was gonna say, that's a complete side note and has nothing to do with it actually. But what I was gonna say is I think the reason why subconsciously I do think of the character thing is that in celebrity styling, like if someone has a movie and they're doing a press tour, it's all the dressing has to be like cohesive for the
Yeah.
character and represent the person, and you can tell so much with clothes. Like you can
Never
tell
thought
such a
about that.
story
Yeah,
that
that's
way.
crazy.
So if you like adhere that to your personal style is what I'm trying to say. Long-winded answer, but
What's your favorite tattoo you've gotten? Um, I don't know if I think my favorite, like, more just in general, are my hand tattoos, because I
I'm
am
so envious.
I've always been really self-conscious of my hands. I've had wrinkly hands since I was like born. And like in middle school, this one girl would always, like, a lot of people made fun of my hands for being wrinkly, but like this one girl would bring hand lotion to school every day for me to
I know
apply to my
exactly who you're
hands, and
talking
I
about.
was like, they're not dry, like they're just like naturally wrinkly. Like I've literally had these hands forever. I also have really short thumbs, so I don't know, like my hand tattoos like gave me more confidence about my hands.
I
And
love your hand
I
tattoos.
love my neck one too. I think those are my two favorite. So
I love the look of a dainty tattoo, and it's just
yeah, I
so
wish all mine were
like
dainty. My least favorite tattoo, well, I have two. One, I don't love my butt tattoo, and two, I don't love my most recent tattoo that I got. That was like for Friday the 13th. I got like a cat with a 13, which in theory would be really cute, but it's like filled in, it blurred, it looks so random and just like chunky, and I hate it.
really.
Yeah, I hate it.
I was
But
with you when you got that.
I know you were. I like absolutely. It's like my worst tattoo. I absolutely hate it.
Could you make it something else?
I don't know. I was talking to someone, the girl who does my tooth gems.
Mm-hmm.
She has a girl in the office with her who does fine line tattoos, and she was like, I could cover that up for you if you want, but I don't know, like I don't want like a big, I don't
It's
even know.
really dark in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think my plan is instead I'm gonna go in one day and just get like a bunch of fine line tattoos around it and have it kind of like patchworky, and then
Cute.
it will hopefully like take focus away. Because right
Yeah.
now it's just like I don't think it would look as bad as if there were other tattoos around it, but it's literally just kind of like in the middle of my arm, just random.
Yeah.
So I think if I had other tattoos around it.
I feel like it doesn't look weird. You're just very aware of it, which I would be
When
too
I
if it
show
was on my
people
body.
it, they're like, yeah, it's not great. I've never had
Yeah.
anyone say it's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's been like, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
not great. So, but thanks for saying
I don't have any tattoos, but my sister wants to get matching little dainty 25, which is our dad's number. But I just find it, A, I'm terrified of getting them, and B,
I love that idea though.
I love the idea of the look of it, but it's also ironic because my dad always said to never get tattoos.
Yeah.
I have nothing against them personally. I'm just like, really, we're gonna get a tattoo for someone who told us not to get tattoos, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
potentially I might get it someday. And if Britta's listening to this, she'll be like, "Oh my god, you said you were getting it," because I always say I will, but then I just push it because I'm terrified. But I do love the look.
Yeah, I love the look of that. But
Yeah. Anyway, next question.
weirdest place you have had sex? I think we've answered this before.
We've definitely answered this, and have I answered mine? Because it's not legal.
What do you mean yours wasn't legal? In a car?
No. I've
In a
told you.
bathroom?
No, in Italy, at a major public monument.
Oh, you didn't share this. I forgot you did that.
Okay. Yeah, I always forget it until the question comes up.
Yeah.
But TMI.
Which monument?
This is like gonna make me sound like such an idiot because one's in Greece and one's in Italy. It's either Pantheon or Parthenon. But this is like illegal for me to be sharing.
No one's gonna arrest you.
Okay. Anyway.
Mine would definitely have to be, and this was just like strange more. Was, and I'll never forget it, was on the Greyhound bus.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. It's giving so Serena and Dan.
Yeah, it was on the way back from New York too. It just is like, it was weird. But this just always
Wasn't it like a rage?
a rage?
Never mind. I thought
No,
it was
there
like a
no rage.
kiss and makeup situation. Okay,
No,
never mind.
I mean, we could have been in an argument. We always were, but
Never
because he
mind.
had undiagnosed schizophrenia at the time, so he always thought I was trying to poison him, etc. No, but this always reminds me of one time I was talking about this with my ex situationship, and he was just like so always I think we've even talked about this on the podcast before, but he always wanted to be so cool. And so like I like said
Oh, I knew
mine,
exactly what you're gonna
and
say.
then and he had asked the question too. Like
Of
he
course. He was
wanted to
dying to
talk
get this
about
info
this.
out.
And then I
Good
I was
God.
like, "What about you?" And he was like, "Yeah, probably when I was on a private jet."
So weird.
And then he was like, "Well, actually, we didn't really have sex." Like he just was dying,
Oh my God.
dying to say he hooked up with some hot.
Wait, I have something to share with the group. Is that a
Sure.
TikTok trend?
Maybe.
Share with the group?
I think so. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it is. I don't know where I
Yeah.
picked it up otherwise. This is actually something I did this past weekend. And usually I don't really like to share these sorts of things. So consider this a little tidbit. But it's almost like a little tip that I'm like
Yeah.
kind of embarrassed about, but it's kind of like, wow, good on me for doing this. So basically, I keep getting into these situations where I'm not very interested in someone, yet
Oh, yeah, sorry.
what?
No, I just go on.
Okay, yet maybe they're interested in me. Maybe I'm wingmaning. Maybe it's just like, you know. So I actually told a man this weekend that I was celibate, which is just simply not true. And then he was like, I mean, I guess I am like semi-celibate, but it's not like intentional.
I was gonna be like, no shade, but aren't you?
Yeah, okay, I am,
I
I
mean,
guess.
so am
Celibate.
I, but I
Yeah.
just was
So I
like,
told him that I've been celibate for a year, and he was like, "Oh, what are you waiting for, marriage?" And like I feel like it was like kind of turning him on, and I was like, "No." And then he was like, I was like, "Just when I want to." Like essentially, yeah, but I mean, he took it.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and she has an epic line that I cannot wait to use.
What?
When it's someone that she doesn't want to talk to, she will just say, "You don't want to know me."
Wow.
How fun is
That's
that?
kind of like I have told someone the classic "A Walk to Remember" line. Promise you won't fall in love with me. Works like
Yeah,
a charm. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding. I don't really know where the celibate thing came from. I just figured, like, you can't argue that.
yeah.
So, and I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it
can't
worked.
argue
It was
that.
true. You can't really argue it.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever used that line. I always do like,
Well, after he said the "What are you waiting for, marriage" thing, or "Are you waiting for marriage?" and I said no, then I realized like it was kind of a creepy thing to say.
yeah.
I wouldn't
I
really. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but
I once in law school like actually wrote out a contract with someone.
don't I
Um,
remember?
that we
Wasn't me.
would, yeah.
Just remember the story. I felt my response was too quick on that one. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, we actually never hooked up, me and this man. So
And
he
yet he still
wanted to.
tries. Yeah.
What's your worst date? I can think of two off the top of my head for me. But do you want to go
Share them.
first? I
No,
feel like
go.
I've been going first.
It's because it takes me a while to think of mine.
My like recently worst first date within the past, like I guess not that recent. It was like 2 years ago now, but never forget. And I've told this story as well. But when this guy who he has like one famous song,
Oh,
and
yes, of course.
but he like literally thinks
Why
he
are
is
you
the
always
world's
in a
biggest.
mood?
He thinks he's the world's biggest celebrity.
Yeah.
And
No comment.
anyway, we have plans to go on a date. And like he said we were just going to like this casual bar, which by the way, it was a casual bar. But we like so I just wear like a baggy sweatshirt, but like tasteful, like a cool baggy sweatshirt, baggy jeans, and like these like platform Ghani sandals, and I looked so great. All of my face I made look great. Like I looked casual, comfy, like beachy, great. And he picked me up, and when he picked me up, like I'm trying to get into his car, and he won't unlock it, and I'm just and it's so awkward. Like I'm talking, like I'm trying to get into his car for like 30 seconds. So I finally pick up my phone and call him because he's not unlocking the door. And then he's like, "Oh shit, sorry, I thought you were a homeless person." And then I was like, "Okay." I get in the car, and then he's like,
I just kind of realized how bad that is.
yeah. Then, then I get in his car, and we're driving, and he's like, "Well, I have to go home and change first." And I'm like, and he's like wearing like like a normal outfit, and I'm like, "Oh, what are you changing into?" And he's like, "Well, there's no way I could wear sandals to a place like this." And I was like, "Well, I guess I should change too." And then he was like, "Yeah, like I was gonna say that." It's like, what? And then we get to his but then like it's like a joke, and he's like, "Oh, like let me dress down so I can."
Oh my god, this is so painful to listen to.
Yeah. And so we get to his house, and it's like just so like giving like viral TikTok boy. Like he had like LED lights and everything.
Of course he did.
And anyway, so we get there, and he like changed, and as we're walking up, he's like, "Yeah, I don't even know if I have a sweatshirt as baggy as yours." Like then he finally goes
Please.
and changes. And then like we get back in the car and like go to this date, and like he said like we were going to this like some high scale bar, which like I don't like I love a dive bar, like I don't care if it's a high scale bar, but it's just like he made a whole point that we need to change.
Yeah.
And then we get there, and it's like there's this random weird place like in Hollywood, I think like on Hollywood Boulevard, like
Oh my God.
weird place. And I don't even know how we found it or what it is. And we get there, and he like goes and orders our first round of drinks. I get a margarita, he gets an espresso martini, and he picks up his espresso martini and just downs it in one sip.
Oh my god, this is reminding me of one of my worst dates.
And then I have had like 2 sips of my margarita. He picks up my margarita and downs my margarita in 1 sip, and then he's like, "Tabs open, you can go get us another round," like acting so cool. And so then I go grab us another round, which, no offense, I think he should have gone up and gotten the next round as well. He's the guy on the date. And so then I go, and then once again he downs his espresso martini in 1 sip and downs my margarita. And then he's like going on and on to me about like how it's so hard being such a big celebrity. And I'm like, is it really that hard for you? Because like I don't really think you are the person you think you are. And anyway, then
LA date will do it to you.
Then so we were literally there for like 35 minutes, and then we went back to his house. Don't ask me why. I'm really bad at like hence why like I make contracts and stuff. I'm really bad about like getting out of situations because I'm awkward. I'm working on getting better about it. Yeah, so we go back to his, and he's like smoking, and we all know I can't smoke, so I'm just like sitting there, and then he just like so awkwardly goes in to kiss me, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like I kiss him for like 2 seconds, and then I'm just like, I'm not hooking up with you tonight. And then he's like, newsflash, we've already made it to second base.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he like
So
weirdly like groped me over the jeans or something. I don't even know what second base is.
Second base is boobs, I thought.
Okay, then maybe he must have groped my boobs too. I don't know. But
God.
and then like he starts trying to like make out with me again, and then I just was like, I have to pick my friend up from the airport early. I've got to go, as in you. And
Figured.
And I think I had to pick you up at like 5 p.m. the next day. And then I left, and he was like, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow," and like he was gonna make plans with me tomorrow. I don't text him. Then he texts me and is like, "Sorry, I haven't had a chance to get back to you. I've been in the studio."
Typical.
Okay. No one asked.
Literally no one asked.
Yeah. So that was like my worst first date. And then my other worst first date was with like Celia and I met these guys in college on the Harvard
I
basketball
knew you were
team.
gonna say this one at Lolita, and I have one at Lolita too.
Yeah. And I like we met them out at a random club. What club? What is it even called?
I can
Royale?
picture where it is, but I don't know what
Is
it's
it called
called.
Royale?
No, I think
don't
it's
know.
called like Story. That just came to me.
That's possible.
It's somewhere in Back Bay. It's probably not even a thing
Yeah.
anymore, honestly.
Um,
Storyville.
Storyville. Are you sure? Isn't that an
I don't know,
amusement
but it doesn't matter.
park? Yeah. No, look, I think that's an amusement park. I don't know, but it's possible.
It was some, yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, we met them, and then like we like had met two friends, so we were super excited because we were like, this is awesome. This is just gonna be great. And so
They were hot.
yours was.
I would say mine was extremely.
Yeah. Mine,
I can't remember exactly what he looked like.
I wouldn't ever describe him as hot. I would say
Mine?
yeah, yours I would say is hot. But anyway, we go on a date and I suggest we go to Lolita's. And so I don't think we had a reservation, and it was like a Tuesday, and they do like a Taco Tuesday special. And so we get there and like they put our name down. And luckily my friend worked there at the time too, which made this like I didn't feel like as uncomfortable. Like that was a nice setup. And so we go like I'm like, "Oh, well, do you want to get a drink at the bar first, or like do you want to walk around?" And he was like, "Let's just walk around." Like it would have been so much more normal to just go get a drink at the bar.
Did he not drink or something? I don't remember.
No, he did. He
Oh,
definitely
okay.
did.
Well, he probably wanted to walk around because he was coming from Cambridge. I'm not even saying that dramatic.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he was just strange. So
Okay.
because our walk around was not a walk around.
It was
We
to the
just-
Nike store. Yeah, I know.
No, well, it was two places. First, it was the Boston Public Library, where he like searches and searches, pulls out this magazine, and he's like, "That's me." Awesome.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then we went to the Nike store, in which he's like pointing out shoes he likes, and then I'm like, "Oh, I have these. Like, I love these." And then he goes, "Those are mad ugly." Okay. And then I'm like, and it's just so awkward. Like we're just like wandering the store. I'm like, holy hell. I suggest we go back to the restaurant and see. Thank God our reservation was ready. We sit down, and like I'm all like, I'll never judge anyone for trying to like be financially savvy. Like that's fine. But I've never had meat in my entire life, and once again, like fine, I don't ever make it a big deal. Like I will find something everywhere. I don't care. But like there's many things I can eat at Lolita, but the one thing there's nothing I can eat is their taco special, at least at the time, was literally just tortillas with 3 different kinds of meat. And like and that's all. And that was the special, and he knew I didn't eat meat, but he was like, he heard that was the cheapest option, so he was like, let's just get this. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not eating tonight. I think I ate like a plain tortilla, and
That's
then
ridiculous.
and
At least
then
I hope you got the free like Chipotle salsa. That's so good.
yeah, I'm sure if it's free, I'm sure we did. And then that is so good. Yeah,
I know.
and then we're sitting there having drinks, and my friend sends us like shots. I think I have a photo on my Snapchat of this. I hope I do. I'll put it on the Instagram if I do. But anyway, then this is when I jeweled. I do not recommend vaping, but in college, like Juul was all the rage. And so I was like jeweling at the restaurant, and he confiscated my Juul from me. And would not give it back. And
Because he wanted it, or he felt it was very bad for you?
he felt it was very bad for me.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But like it wasn't his place to really like take the Juul away from me.
Yeah.
And this just reminded me because I remember I brought him back to my apartment only because I used to do this all the time. I'd bring people back to my apartment and either have Celia come over or have my roommates help me ask them leave, which brings me, I wasn't going to bring this up, but it just reminded me of my last, I'm sorry, I've been rambling, but I have to get this one in.
What?
Never forget, right after I'd gone through a breakup from like a 2-year relationship, was really sad. I matched with this guy. on Hinge, and he looks, or probably Tinder at the time. He looked so cute.
I know who you're talking
And
about. Yeah, we just saw him recently on a dating app or something.
yes.
Okay.
And yeah, now he lives in LA. Like I always see him on dating apps still. Um, and anyway, he was in Boston at the time, and he and I, like, he looked so cute in his photos, but
Mhm.
like full blown, I wouldn't say like catfish. I
I
mean,
would,
yes,
to be
I would.
honest.
Cause he probably had like 20 pounds on him. No judgment. And also, like, he didn't have any photos of himself smiling for a reason. Like, it changed everything about, like, it just, he had a whole different,
Vibe.
whatever. And I still like was going in positive. We go to this like random pizza place, like a pizza place that, like, he chose it, of course, and it was like down the street from his apartment, and it was like quite a trek for me and whatever. And it's like not like a pizza place you like sit down at. It's literally a pizza place where you go and pick up your pizza, but they have like a table or two. And so we're like the only ones sitting there eating our pizza, and like I like out of like
Oh my god, you should have left. You didn't deserve
yeah,
that.
I wanted to, and
You
then
did
out
not
of
deserve
like
that.
nicety, and
Wait,
I
didn't you like see him on the street? Like, weren't you walking and then you saw him and you were like, oh,
oh yes, and I because
what
I was
exactly
probably on
happened?
the phone with you, and
Yeah.
then
Yes, I just had that exact memory. I was sat in your room and we were on the phone and she was approaching him and she was like, oh my god, this can't be it.
yeah, yeah. And as like a nicety, and I don't do this anymore, I offered to split the bill with him for like a $10 pizza. And he was like, yeah, that'd be great. It's like, okay. And
Oh my
then
god.
because I felt awkward, we went back to his house. And this is, I hate when guys do this. If anyone ever does this to me again, I just can't handle it.
Hmm.
He pulled out his guitar and just
Oh.
started like playing his guitar for me. And I feel
Oh.
like every single girl has had this experience before where a
Yes.
guy pulls out a guitar and plays it for you. But what are you supposed to do? Like, oh, great job. Like,
No,
awesome,
that's like repulsive
awesome
to me.
job on the guitar. And then the
And
only
that's how
reason
you know if you're like really in love with someone, if someone does that and you're like, wow,
because
that's
someone
so
did do that
sweet
to
and
you and you
romantic.
thought it was
Okay,
romantic.
you had to bring that up. But anyway, but I'm just
But
saying, like, most of the time that's like immediate
yeah,
ick.
yeah. Um, but no, basically, the only reason I remembered this one is because this was one of the men that I brought back to my apartment so that I could have Celia help me make him leave. Like he literally Ubered with me just so that we could tell him to leave.
Freaky guy.
What did we even do? And did we hang out for a bit while he was there? I don't even know.
No, I feel like we must have made up an excuse because I don't really remember hanging out with him.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know.
Anyway, your turn. Sorry,
I
I
don't
got
have
three in
like,
there.
no, I'm not even saying this. Like, I just have a bad memory, as you know.
Yeah.
But the things that came to mind, first date with one of my high school boyfriends, Callie, I basically made her come with me to pick him up from his
Oh.
private school, and they had a curfew, so they could only really be out until 8 p.m. So after ski practice, we went straight there, picked them up, drove all the way back to our town just to get like a
Oh, I
slice of
forgot about
pizza,
this. It was a
and
double
then
date.
correct. And then we drove them all the way back. And mostly it was just like us in the front seat, them in the back seat. Like no part of it was really a date. We were more like their chauffeurs
And
to get a
this
piece of
wasn't like a
pizza.
sit down pizza place either. Like, did we
No,
eat in
it
the
wasn't.
car?
Maybe this is a trend. What?
Yeah, what did we eat in the car?
I really can't even. No, we must be like a high top table or something.
Yeah.
Yes, that would not be like a great date, but nothing catastrophic happened. And then the one that I can't remember.
Wait, really quick, and you don't have to share this if you don't want to, but
What?
you only recently shared this with me, and I don't remember. But Celia would like always drive to him, obviously, because he couldn't like leave.
Yeah.
And he one time requested that she showed up in a different car.
Yeah, that was outrageous because basically my dad's company had some random cars. And I remember my mom. Oh, I blew up my car. That's what happened. I was like, wait, where did my car go? Yeah, I blew up my car, which was like one of the better options. And then I got this one that he thought looked like a mom car. I don't know why we had it. It was some person's old car or something. It was basically like a Subaru hatchback. I don't know. It wasn't
Ooh,
bad at
my
all.
parents'
No,
house.
no, your parents is much nicer. It's not that. But
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, this whole conversation, it's not that. It's different. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, yeah, he's like, maybe you could show up in a different car.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Got it.
That is
Leave you and your.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I won't even judge cars on here because other people might have some. But whatever.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
a weird ass
Of
car.
course. Yeah, he had
Um,
the same weird car that my ex-boyfriend did. And so one time we put them in a group chat together on Facebook. And
did,
like,
did we
try-
actually go through and do that?
yes.
Oh God. But yeah, we ended up dating, but that was an awful first date, I guess.
Yeah.
I must have liked him. I don't really remember.
Oh, you were in love.
Okay. Anyway, I can't exactly remember what happened on this date, if I'm being so honest, but I just remember that before I went on it, this was in college, someone at work was like, one time I went on a date and like I splashed in a puddle and then a whole bottle of wine spilled and I just like all these bad things were happening. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's never happened to me. And then we went on a date to Brico in the North End in Boston and I had an espresso martini and it spilled. And then we got another one and it spilled again. And I'm like, this is a bad sign.
And that was how
I can't remember the rest. He was
Who
not.
was it with? Do I even know this person?
No. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say it. But no, not really, no.
Okay.
I don't even remember his name, if I'm going to be honest. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, you could probably picture him. Oh, God. Actually, he's disgusting because I saw is engaged on Instagram and liked one of my stories after getting engaged very
Ew.
recently. So I
I
blocked him
hate the
immediately.
liking stories feature. It's
Yeah.
so creepy.
Immediate block because, like, what?
Because men can like your story and no one will. There's ugh.
Yeah. Creepy.
And I feel
And
like
then
I
I
always
also-
use it for bad. It's never like good.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I was watching this TikTok that was like, I hate to admit, but I get like dopamine when someone likes my story, even though it's literally a crumb of literally nothing.
Yeah.
And the fact that your mood can change entirely based off someone liking your story, which mine does, guilty as charged, but I'm just like, it's
Yeah.
shocking. But what was I just going to say? Oh, I also went on a date with someone at Lolita and we got drinks. He chugged them, got more drinks, and then asked if we could split the bill. Similar experience. Also,
again.
basketball player.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Bizarre. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, but maybe you should never date a college basketball player. Maybe wait until they're in the NBA. Just saying, because clearly they cannot front the
would
cash.
have
I mean,
to
really.
agree.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Tell us about your craziest, drunkest night
Well, this
out.
isn't the craziest.
Yeah, it's definitely not the craziest, but it's like
just funny.
the funniest one when it came to mind for like me and Celia. This is what came to us first. This was
Yep.
like junior, senior year of college.
Definitely
and-
senior year.
Yeah, and this is when we were like, we thought we were awesome phase. So
Yeah.
we're like at, I think we've told this story too, but
We definitely have.
we were at, it's because I think we posted photos from this night, but we were at a table at Bijou and like the guys at the table with ordered Ace of Spades. So me and Celia are just in
And
the
I called
back
you my koala bear
taking
that night.
photos, like
Yep.
drinking the Ace of Spades. And then like
Typical bull crap.
this is where everything goes wrong. But anyway, Celia and I both get very, very drunk, but Celia's more drunk than I am. And like to the point where like at Bijou, like they'll have people taking photos. And Celia goes, no photos, and like covers her face like so dramatic as if she's like hiding
No
from
comments.
paparazzi. And I'm like,
I mean, senior year us was different. Let's just put it that way.
so then we're leaving. I get us an Uber home, and like we're trying to get into the Uber. Celia gets, thank God, like this could have honestly gone terribly. Celia
We
gets
did
into-
so many things in Boston that could have gone terribly, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like a free for all there. It's not real life, I
Yeah.
feel.
Celia got into a random man's car who was not an Uber driver.
So
And
creepy.
she was in the passenger seat, and I was like, "Get out of the car. This is not our Uber." And you were like in your drunken, like half asleep voice, like, "I just am trying to go home." And I'm like, "Me too. We're going to the same place, and this is not your Uber." I
Yep.
eventually literally have to pull you out of this man's car because I'm like, also, what the hell is this man? He's like just sitting here, like
So
not
creepy.
participating in the conversation. I'm like, why the hell is he letting you sit in his car?
Mm-mm.
And so then finally, like, I get her out of the car. And then she immediately goes to a police officer because she sees one on the sidewalk. And she goes, "She just hit me about me." And I was like, first of all, no, I didn't. Second
Yeah.
of all, what the hell? And the police officer didn't even respond to you because he
I
was
know.
just like, "What?"
It's
And
like,
then we got in our Uber and went home. But that was just like, I was so pissed at you in the
I
moment.
know,
But
I
now
remember
that's
that vividly. Well, actually, I don't, but I remember you being pissed vividly. Whoopsie.
it was funny in
Yeah.
retrospect, though. No, we had a lot of, we had a lot of, I can't even think.
Oh, here's a crazy one. I wouldn't say it's a fun night. We've told this story so many times, but it's one of my favorite stories of all time. So Callie and I were out and about. We're having our signature, the VIP martini at Del Frisco's, straight pineapple vodka that they make in house. Absolutely
I
divine.
don't even know where this is
Frothed.
going.
What?
I don't even know where this story is going.
Just wait. So, I mean, it's not that bad. It's just funny. But yeah. So we're having our VIP martinis, and then I think we must meet up with my friend there. We go to the Grand. You don't like me to tell this part because things got a little out of hand. Remember
What?
at the Grand at Nelly?
Oh no, you can tell it. Oh, we've literally just
We've told this a
story,
million times. Yeah. So anyway, we're at the owner of the Grand's table, and we get kicked
Wow.
out. Wow.
Okay, well, we're already at an hour, so I guess we're gonna wrap things up. And if you want, let us know. We'll do a little poll on Instagram if you want us to do a part 2 Q&A. Let
Or
us know.
favorites.
We love doing Q&As.
Yeah, honestly.
But I know personally I will have a lot of updates by next episode because don't ask me why, but I'm going on a date tomorrow.
Share with the group.
No, I guess I'm just going on a date tomorrow. And like, it's honestly so unfair. Like, guys are so lucky to be going on dates with me. And I'm not saying that in any other way except that they can know everything about me because I share every personal detail of my life on social media. This guy that I'm going on a date with tomorrow texted me, "Hey, Dunka Latte Queen." And I'm like, how the hell does he know about this? And then my friend
And I'm
was
like, you post about it every single day?
yeah, no, and my friend also said this. Sophia said the same thing. What did she was like? She said you can't post 50 videos about the Dunka Latte and then be upset people associate it with you. But it's just, I just feel uncomfortable because I can't even find his Instagram. Like, I was trying to find his Instagram. I can't even find his Instagram. And yet he knows about the Dunka Latte. And then I'm like, does he know about it from TikTok or Instagram? Because if it's TikTok, that makes me feel really uncomfortable because I
Probably
really
Instagram.
overshare
I feel
on
like boys
TikTok.
are more Instagram.
Yeah. But how did
Generally.
you even find my Instagram? I don't know. Anyway,
It's
so
not that hard. You just type in first and last name.
well, it's Hinge. He doesn't know what my last name is.
Yeah, but not to like be crazy, but I'm sure if you type in Callie, you probably come up.
Well, anyway, I've searched and searched for him.
I bet I could find him.
I'd appreciate it if you did.
Okay. Just, you'll have to give me some details and then I guarantee I
Yeah.
can find him.
But anyway, that will just be interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought, like how they know so much. I always stalk before a date. I know you shouldn't, but I just can't help it.
No, I do too, and I would have loved to had I the opportunity. But maybe we can try to find his Instagram.
You've actively tried, you can't find him? Maybe he doesn't have Instagram.
Then that means he saw my TikTok, which makes me feel super uncomfortable.
Oh, well, there's no way he doesn't have Instagram, but he has TikTok. TBD. Anyway, where are you going?
I don't know. Literally, he said TBD.
Oh.
And then I used a line that made me think of you because we used it in our podcast to give a hint about your ex Raya match who got mad we talked about him on the podcast. I said I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, I've got to go on that note.
Okay.
Toodaloo. See you next week. Yeah,
Love
favorites
you.
or Q&A. Let
Yeah.
us know.
Okay.
Love you.
See you next
Bye.